Hello English learners, welcome to our English learning channel Learn English Easily Through Stories. I am your host Robert. Have you ever been told? Save money. Save for the future. It sounds smart. It sounds safe. But what if I told you? Saving money alone might never make you rich. This is the story of a man who learned this lesson the hard way and changed his life forever. In a quiet countryside town in America, surrounded by farms and dusty roads, there lived a man named George Miller. George was 58 years old. People in the town knew him, but not in a good way. They called him the man who never acts. Every day, George sat outside his small wooden house. He leaned back in an old chair, watching the sky, watching people pass by, watching life move forward. Without him, he always said, "One day, I'll open my own business. One day, I'll build something big. One day, I'll make real money." But that one day never came. George lived with his daughter Emily and his young grandson Noah, who was just 8 years old. Emily worked long hours. She cleaned houses, cooked meals, did everything she could to survive. One evening, she said softly, "Dad, dreams don't pay bills. We need something real." George nodded slowly. "Soon," he said. "I'm thinking." But thinking never fed a family. One cold night, Noah walked up to George. His voice was soft. "Grandpa, do we have milk?" George looked toward the kitchen. Emily opened the fridge. It was almost empty. No milk. No eggs. No bread. The silence was heavy. Noah didn't complain. He just nodded and walked away quietly. That moment broke something inside George. That night, George couldn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling. His mind was loud. What have I done with my life? Why did I wait so long? Why didn't I act? For years, he had dreams. But dreams alone never built anything. The next morning, before sunrise, George did something new. He stood up and left the house. He walked to a nearby farm. "Do you need help?" he asked. The farmer looked at him. He said. "You've never worked a day here." George replied quietly, "I'm ready now." The work was brutal. The sun burned his skin. His back hurt. His hands became rough. Every evening, he came home exhausted. But for the first time in his life, he had earned something. A small amount of money. Not much. But it was real. George started saving small coins. Every week, he put money in a small metal box. Clink, clink. The sound gave him hope. Noah once asked, "Grandpa, what is that?" George smiled. "This is our future." Months passed. The box became full. George felt proud. One day, he went to the market. He placed the money on the table. "I want food for my family," he said. The shopkeeper counted it, then shook his head. "Prices have gone up." George frowned. "What do you mean? This money is not enough anymore." George stood there in shock. He had saved for months, but it still wasn't enough. That night, George sat outside again. But this time, he wasn't dreaming. He was thinking differently. He looked at neighbors. One man sold vegetables. Another sold milk. Another fixed tools. They weren't rich, but they were stable. And then, a small idea entered his mind. What if I don't just save money? What if I use it? The next day, George went to the market again. But this time, not to buy food. He bought 3 chickens. Emily was confused. "We need food, not animals," she said. George replied calmly. "Trust me." The first week, they got just 1 egg. Then 2. Then 3. Noah became excited. "Grandpa, we made eggs." They ate some, sold some, saved some money again. With that money, George bought more chickens. Then more. He built a small coop. He started tracking everything. Eggs sold. Money earned. Expenses. For the first time, George wasn't dreaming. He was building. Months passed. The house felt different. There was food. There was laughter. There was hope. Neighbors started buying from George. "Your eggs are fresh," they said. George smiled. Because now, he had something real. One evening, George held an egg in his hand. He looked at Noah and said, "This egg is more powerful than money." Noah looked confused. George continued, "Money can disappear. But when you use money wisely, it creates more." George looked at the sky, just like he used to. But this time, he wasn't dreaming. He whispered, "I wasted years waiting. But one small step changed everything." Dear listener, saving money is not wrong. But saving alone is not enough. Money sitting still loses power. But money used wisely creates life. So don't just save. Learn, build, invest, grow. Because even a small start can change your entire life. If this story inspired you, like this video, subscribe for more powerful stories. Share it with someone who needs this lesson.